This morning. I tried. The court calls the case of People versus Jeffrey Williams, 2123429. Counsel, state your appearances for the record, please.
Richard Keeley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Emily Jip on behalf of Jeffrey Williams.
And sir, you are Jeffrey Williams?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Williams, you are here by video today, as is everybody else, but you do have the absolute right to be present here in person in the courtroom with me. Are you waiving that right and requesting to be sentenced by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And have you had a full and complete opportunity to consult with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. If you need to talk with her privately during this hearing, let me know. We'll put you into a breakout room. Counsel advisory guidelines were scored as a prior record variable level C, and offense variable level 2, an advisory range of 0 to 11 months. Any objection to that scoring, Ms. Jip?
Your Honor, I did submit some documentation to the prosecutor's office as well as Ms. Williams, so that hopefully you had an opportunity to review that.
Oh, correct. Was that on the case that was supposed to be reduced?
Yeah, so essentially, if the court was to follow my reasoning and reduce PRV 2 to 0, PRV 5 would have to go from 2 to 5. So his scoring would still be 10 points, putting him in a C category. I just felt that it should be accurate based on kind of the contemplated resolution in Allegan County, and I'm still working to make sure that that's corrected to a misdemeanor.
Any position, Ms. Keeley?
I mean, I recognize that the documentation supports the position. I just would also indicate that since the court may reduce to a misdemeanor, I don't know what the plea terms were in that case. It's, we just don't have anything from Allegan County, and given that it's a case that I've been involved in, I would leave that at the court's discretion.
Did you say that the scoring stays the same, Ms. Jip?
It drops from 12 points to 10 points, but still stays within the C level.
Okay.
Because PRV 5 would bump up to 5 points.
Okay. Well, I think from my read of all this is, as of right now, he has that felony on his record, even though it may be an error, but it's on his record at this point.
Yes, that's correct. I wasn't able to get Allegan prosecutor's office to be responsive in a timely fashion.
Okay. I think in light of the language of it saying may, and there may be a need to go into the hearing and listen to the details of that, but I'm going to leave the report as is, but I certainly recognize the situation and do not intend to impose a sentence based on a felony conviction, 2 of 8, carrying concealed weapon. So since it's factually correct as of now, I'll leave it as is.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other objections to guidelines, Ms. Jip?
No, not to guidelines.
Okay. Ms. Keeley, did you have any objection to the guidelines?
No, Judge.
Okay, the court will adopt an advisory guideline range of 0 to 11 months. Ms. Chip, have you and your client had the opportunity to receive and review this pre-sentence report? And if so, any additions, corrections, or deletions to it?
Yes, Your Honor, we did have an opportunity to review it. On CFJ 145, page 1, it references that Mr. Williams' relationship with alcohol. And he just wanted me to let the court know that in 1997, he turned 21, and so he would occasionally drink alcohol at that point. But it wasn't until his brother-in-law was diagnosed with leukemia in 2019 that he started abusing alcohol.
Okay. I think that's accurate as it is. Are you just illuminating some of the details for me?
He just brought that up and was concerned. He didn't want the court to think that he had been abusing alcohol for that extended period of time.
Okay, thank you. I'll leave that as is, I just read it, sir, to say that that would have been your first consumption of alcohol and then up until 2021, but it doesn't tell me how frequently, but I will consider your words today in that regard. Any other additions, corrections, or deletions, Ms. Jupp?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sir, have you had the chance to review your pre-sentence report?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you have any additions, corrections, or deletions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Keeley, any additions, corrections, or deletions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Chip, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client before I impose sentence?
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Williams, since picking up this charge, has done quite well on pretrial release. He's had no issues with alcohol consumption. In reviewing the recommendations, he does have 20 days credit, and the recommendation is 90 days. To date, 20 days is the longest period of time that Mr. Williams has ever served in custody, and he is hoping that the court will consider, in lieu of opposing the additional 70 days, would consider giving him weekend work alternative and allow him to engage in any programming that his probation agent feels is appropriate. He was assessed and deemed technically eligible for sobriety court in Allegan County. They will not accept a transfer from out of county unless the plea is to an OWI second. And the only offer ever contemplated in this case was the OWI third felony. He does live with family. He has good support in the community. Until he picked up this charge, he had been working full-time. So we are hopeful that the court would consider imposing community service. Obviously, if fines and costs are ordered, Mr. Williams is of limited means at the moment, but he understands that he could hopefully get the weekend work alternative program in lieu of some additional jail time, and that would come at a cost to him too. So we're just hoping that the court will consider veering from the recommendation of an additional 70 days in jail.
Thank you. You said the eligibility said he's not eligible for our county, or is it because he lives in Allegan? You live here, Jeff, but you're closer to Allegan County for transportation?
I live in Allegan County.
Oh, okay, you live in Allegan County. Because the charge would be transferred from Van Buren, they won't take it as a third.
Well, we might be able to supervise here. I'm checking on that. Where do you live, sir?
Allegan County, Pullman, Michigan.
Pullman? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're what, 20 minutes from South Haven, is it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Let me just see if I have it. Okay. And thank you, Ms. Jipp. Sir, anything that you wish to say? Mr. Williams, anything you wish to say?
Yes, I feel really bad for what I've done. You know, I care about people. I love people. I know I put people at harm. And I don't ever want to do that again, Your Honor.
Okay, what are you doing to address your substance use disorder now?
I gave Zoom group treatment apps meetings Thursdays, every Thursday, and I meet with my meet with somebody through Allegan or check in for treatment via the phone every Tuesday.
Okay, that's part of your current probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's getting services through Arbor Circle.
Okay. Sir, are you on alcohol monitoring now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, how long have you been on it?
Since I want to say the first week of December of 2021.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. Anything else you wanted to say, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Keeley, anything?
Honor, in light of the fact that this is now the fourth OWI conviction in 2 years, I think the recommendation is appropriate, and I would ask the court to follow it.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Williams, I do understand Mr. Henry's recommendation, despite this being a presumptive no jail guideline case. It's very alarming that we've got 4 OWIs in the last 2 years, plus an open intoxicants. This one committed 1 month after being put on Allegan OWI probation. I do note, as highlighted by Ms. Jip today, that you did serve 20 days in jail. When I went through your criminal history, that is certainly the longest jail stint you've served thus far. I'm hoping that that has had an impact on you, and the fact that you've gone this long on the alcohol monitoring without a violation gives me hope in that regard. But Mr. Williams, leave no doubt in your mind that these are extraordinarily serious cases. You could be here today on a situation where you killed somebody or you maimed them in some way. I'm sorry that you've had issues with your family, and I think you said loss of a brother or leukemia. But this is about a substance use disorder and your choice to continually get behind the wheel of a car when you're not addressing that disorder. So I am going to put you in our sobriety court, and you're going to have to figure out a way to get there for those sessions. Right now they're doing it by Zoom, so that shouldn't be too burdensome for you. 24 months probation. I will do the 20 jail with 20 credit. I'm ordering that you serve 90 additional days on alcohol monitoring. I'm ordering that you enter and successfully complete our sobriety court program as a condition of this probation. $68 in state costs, a crime victim assessment of $130. I will order that you pay the $500 fine. Further jail is suspended upon successful completion. We'll word it 30 with 20, but suspended upon successful completion of sobriety court. And sir, and you have 480 hours of community service work. Sir, the other terms of this probation are as indicated in that report, and they will be further explained. So if you have any questions about what's required of you, be sure to get those questions answered. You do have a right to ask the Court of Appeals to review the conviction and sentence. You have a right to ask for a court-appointed attorney to assist you in that review if you're financially unable to afford your own. If you do wish to make the request, you'll need to fill out the paperwork I'm going to get to you and turn it back into the court within 42 days of today's date. I'm also going to get you a document called Payment Options, which explains you have 48 business hours from now to set up a payment plan with the clerk's office on the financial assessments, and you can do that online. It's all explained in the paperwork. You'll also get a document called early discharge from probation that explains your case type might be eligible for early discharge, what you would need to do to make that request of the court. Sir, can we email Sims Fanboy 2020 at iCloud?
Your Honor, can I update my email address?
Sure.
JEFFERYALANW@yahoo.com.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Henry's here from Department of Corrections. He's going to have some instructions for you to get a hold of your probation officer. Do you have a pen and paper?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Henry?
Okay, Mr. Williams, your probation officer is going to be Jane Blunt, BLOUNT. She manages sobriety court probation. You can contact her today. All right, at 517 257 7893.
Thank you.
And sir, I'm going to give you the number for the caseworker for sobriety court right now too. You'll need to call him immediately after this session.
Okay.
I got two phone numbers for you. His name is Logan Hudson. And it's his cell is 269-716-0909. And the office is 269-657-8200, extension 2479.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Counsel, I don't think we're dismissing anything today, are we?
Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, counsel?
I'd just like Mr. Williams to know that I just emailed Mr. Opponents in Allegan to let him know the sentence of the court.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.